Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less, and this is my list for top 5 games to gift to dads. Uh, I have found when gifting games, games with easy rules are the ones that get played. So all of the games on this list are so quick and easy to get up and running and playing. However, that does not mean that they are not challenging. They are quick to get to the table, but there is still a lot of strategy and they are fun and interesting games. They all have great themes. My husband approved this list, and they are listed in the description of the video if you want to skip to a particular game. So let's get started. First up, we have Zombie Dice, which is a push your luck dice game in which you are trying to be the first to get to 13 brains. And I will say, first of all, the cover art for this game is gross. I do not like it. I resisted getting the game for a while because I just think it's gross. And I finally broke down and got it because it had so many good reviews and I'd heard so many good things. And if you can get past the cover art, which didn't bother my husband and didn't seem to bother any of my children who are medium sensitive to scary or creepy things, then you're fine. And the dice themselves are fine. So when you get the game, all you do is you pick out 3 dice and you roll them, and you can get either a brain or a shotgun or footprints, which means your little villager has run away from you. And you get to keep brains and you have to keep shotguns. They shot you. And you can stop at a certain point and keep the brains from that round. Or if they shoot you 3 times, the villagers got you and you don't get to keep any of your brains, and then the turns go on and you just keep on going until someone gets to 13. And I like this because it's great for little kids, can help out with the dice games. They love it where they get to roll the dice and you're still making the strategic decisions, but they're involved. It's great for that. It says ages 10 and up on the box, but my 6-year-old son loved this game and could make all the strategic decisions on his own and have a really good time. And it's also just a great game for adult game nights as easy kind of social level game because you can talk during it. It is so easy. You just start rolling the dice to start the game. I generally don't even, I just say, okay, roll the dice. Okay, you have this, this, and this are your choices. And people catch on really quickly. So it's compact, easy to learn, and a hilarious theme. So this is a great one. Next up, we have Push, which is a family level push your luck card game in which you are trying to get the most points. In this game, you have, on your turn, you are flipping out cards into 3 stacks. And the trick is you can't have the same number or the same color on one of the stacks that you're creating. So you're trying to push your luck because one of the stacks is going to get to you. And the more you flip out cards, the more points you're potentially getting that you get to take. So you want as many points as possible without going bust. And then, so if you stop before you've gone bust, you get to collect one of the stacks. And then the other stack or 2, however many you have out there, go to the next players in sequence. So you're giving other people points too, possibly. So you have to watch out for that and take it into account as well. And then the next person goes, they're doing the same thing. There's a few specialty cards. There's a reverse card that switches the direction the extra stacks go. And then there's a dice card that if you place it on one of the stacks, it's bad. It's bad to get the die because that means you get to place the cards in their stacks that you've collected. Then you have to roll the die. And if you roll the color of one of the collections of cards you have, you lose all those points and they go away. So there's a few different elements going on. It's very busy, active, and fun. I like that even not on your turn, you're very invested in what's going on because you want to see, oh goodness, are they going to go bust? And also you're potentially getting some of those points. So you're very interested in what they're putting in the other 2 stacks. So this is one of the few games, we play a lot of games in my house. This is one of the very few games that we have played with myself, my husband, and our 3 older kids and had just a fabulous, wonderful time together because even though there's just one winner, other people are close. Often, oh, you just beat me by 2 points. And there's a lot of luck, so people know, oh, okay, I just got unlucky on that round. Oh, if I hadn't rolled red, I wouldn't have lost those points and I would have beaten you. And because it is so quick, you finish a round, you say, oh, so-and-so got this one. We can shuffle them up and play another round because it's so quick and so easy. It's not playing a game of Monopoly where you're there for a few hours, someone's been ground into a heap, and you don't have time for another game because it took so long. So it's just one of my new go-to family games. It's going to be on a lot of game lists because it just is so quick, so fun, easy to play, and has a universal appeal. Next up, we have Skulls of Sedlec, and I'm going to read the description of the game from the rulebook because it is so excellent. The Black Plague and Hussite wars have overcrowded the graveyard. Help the bone collector, a half-blind monk, by exhuming graves and arranging the skulls inside the crypt. Already, I'm sold. What an amazing game theme. In this, you are making kind of a pyramid of cards, and you are trying to place them strategically next to each other in order to maximize your points. So the criminals want to be buried next to a priest to atone for their sins in the afterlife. The romantics want to be buried next to each other because they still love each other for forever. The kings kind of want to be at the top and be above it all. They score the most points that way. And you want to have a priest on every level to cover your bases. And then there are peasants, and they're just a point wherever you place them. But the kings get more points for being above the peasants. So it's kind of fun. There's a lot of just different little things going on. But I love this game. It's one of the button shy games, which we have just started getting into. And they come in little wallets like this. This is how big the games are. And typically it's 18 cards. So it's really compact. But they have a ton of really wonderful games, great for travel, and a variety of themes, games for kids, games for adults. And I particularly like Skulls of Sedlec because it is a theme that an adult can play, but my kids have really enjoyed playing it too and do very well. The rules are quick to get up and running on, so that makes it easy to play. Even if anyone can kind of do okay figuring out how to place things. And so I just really think these are all pretty great. And if you were going to pick one of the button shy games to start with, this would probably be really high on the list, but they're all excellent and you should check them out. Next up, we have Bandido, which is a cooperative game in which you are trying to capture a bandit who is tunneling out of his prison cell by placing down cards that eventually all end up in dead ends. So he is trapped and is captured, and it has to be returned to his jail cell where he belongs. And although this is cooperative, it is very challenging, and you will lose a lot. My kids love to play this game with me because it is so simple and it's an exciting concept. They're very bad at it, and we mostly lose because unless you are very strategic in the manner in which you kind of weave these paths together and give yourself options for where cards are going to have paths intersect, unless you are very lucky in drawing a lot of dead ends, you're probably going to lose. But I love this game because it is so simple and yet so challenging. It just comes in this little box, so it's kind of a surprise. And then you place it out. I recommend playing this on the floor, not on a table, because there are a lot of cards and you build these paths, and before you know it, you've gone off in a certain direction and you're way off, you're going to be off the table. So we mostly play this on the floor. But it's so fun in part because it is challenging, and it doesn't take very long. You'll have a game where, whoa, things went haywire and your paths are all over. And then you gather up your cards and you're like, ooh, I bet we can get it this time. One more time. I did that to my husband one of the first nights we were playing it. I just was, I think we lost 3 times in a row. And I was like, one more time. We have to end on a win. And so we finally, the 4th time through, we got it. And we were so excited that, I was so excited that we had beaten it. And, but that's the kind of game it is where you play and you want to play over and over and over again. So it is great. I like games that challenge you, but so quick and easy to get out. Kids love this. Adults love it. It's a neat idea and theme, and it's cooperative, which is really cool to have something like that that's challenging, but you're all working together. And it's just in a little box, and it's very fun. And finally, we have Lost Cities. a game of cunning and backstabbing, and it kind of feels like Indiana Jones, but with math. Make sure you get the card game version of this game. If you get Lost Cities, there's a few other versions. There's a board game, there's a roll and write, which are fine, but the card game version is the best and is the standout. In this game, you were trying to get the most points, and you get points by embarking on expeditions. And the beauty of this game, though, is that all you do, you're dealt a hand of cards, and on your turn, you play a card and draw a card. That's it. So while there's a lot going on, there is just an elegant simplicity to that, and this tightness of the game where, like, this tension where you're trying to make a decision of where to play your card. If you play it on one of your expeditions, does that mean that they're able to discard a card that they've been holding on to that would have really helped you? So should you wait it out a little bit longer? Going on an expedition costs you 20 points, so you need to make up those points by playing down cards, and they're worth the face value on the card. So it's a big deal if you have the bigger ticket ones to be able to use those on an expedition. There are investment cards which are basically, like, I think of them as wager cards, where they double or triple the value of your expedition, which is great if you get enough points. But if you don't get enough points, they double or triple the amount that you can lose. You can get negative points in this game, which I have accomplished upon occasion. Sometimes things just don't go right. So it's a game where it's so easy to get up and running, but just the basics of it are so simple that it's just really great. This was our go-to evening game for a while because it was so interesting and there's a lot going on, but to get it out was simple and easy, so it was calm and fun to play in the evenings. And you're going to want to have a sheet of paper and a pencil for the math at the end. It's not anything tricky, but each of your expeditions starts out at -20, then you're adding things back in. If you've played an investment card or two, you're multiplying that by 2 or 3. So there's a little bit of math, which I enjoy and I think adds to the game, because a lot of times you don't know who's won until you've finished playing all of your cards, and then it's time to tally up the points. You don't know until the points are tallied. So it is kind of exciting, like, okay, I'm going to do my math now and see which one of us won. So this is just one of those games where if I had to pick 10 games for my husband and I to own and play for forever together, this would absolutely be one of those 10, because it is just one you can play over and over again. And it is so interesting, but it's not a tricky pull out this, have to do this, consult the rules for this. Just play a card and draw a card, and that's all you need to know. So that's my top 5 gifts for dads. If you can find the right game to gift, you can build relationships, make memories, and really, what more can you ask for from a gift? So I hope you found one that you like. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time from Game Like a Mother.